Hello, welcome to the Groomsman. My name is Adam. It's been at least 2 weeks, if not longer, since my last video. I feel like I'm in a Catholic church saying this. Anyways, finally using my new brush on camera. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend that I haven't used this brush off camera. But another thing I'm finally using on camera today, there's a couple of things. The Karve Overlander in brass that I recently got. Not that recently, probably a month ago, and I just haven't used it on camera yet. We're going to be pressing our luck by using a Nasset blade today. It's a very smooth, gentle razor, so I'm turning up the aggression by putting in one of the more commonly referred to sharper blades in the community. We're using, wow, I'm a mess. We're using Barrister and Mann Seville in the Omnibus base. And I recently purchased the matching aftershave. So yes, there will be an aftershave post-shave today to talk about to replace my old one, which is looking pretty gross, which is why I replaced it. It's got like some solids floating around in there and everything. This is from when I had bought the set in the Excelsior base, which I killed that tub. Yeah. Anything else? Oh yeah. Pretty much exclusively the last several months I've been using the Sheer Revival Progress All-Purpose Oil as my pre-shave. It's infused with bergamot, rosemary, and amber essential oils, which is nice today because it kind of matches up, because Seville, let's see, there's a lot of lemon and bergamot on top. Is a big citrus punch, especially I think in the aftershave. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then it has that barbershop quality, so it's rosemary, there's some lavender in there, patchouli, and oak moss. I think I got them all off the tub. And then once you whip the soap up, it's pretty well blended, but people can be turned off by how much citrus is in the aftershave. I'm not. You know, there's that lemoniness underneath the powderiness and everything that's going on with the barbershop stuff. But let's get this on my face and start shaving. Excuse me. I mowed my lawn earlier, and it's kind of the tail end of my really bad allergy season, apparently. But I feel better and have more voice than I did the last time I made a video, which was when I nodded this sucker. My AKA peacock brush that I had prior to this, I did just sell that. It's in the mail to a gentleman I met who actually is from Michigan and is currently hyper-focused on shaving and is very nice. I hope he gets that soon and gets to enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with the brush. I just had more of an emotional attachment to this. And they both already had G5C knots. Now that I knotted this one, so opens up a slot for another brush at another time. I try to not have too much of the same flavor going on. I don't always have the best of luck with the Nasset. I did just shave yesterday, but I do consider the Overlander to be probably the best everyday shaver I have in my arsenal right now. So we'll see how it does with the Nasset. I used the Ambassador yesterday for the first time in a long time. I've been mostly using this and then the Leaf Thorn razor that I traded for with Jonathan. So let's get it. I'm not usually one that shaves daily. I've never really needed to, for one, because my stubble, while thick, does not grow fast. So I'm usually an every other day shaver, but this is where the timeline is. And I wanted to use the Overlander, and with how much growth I had the other day, I felt more confident in getting a good shave with the Ambassador. Than I did going after it with the Overlander. But that's why we have different razors for different reasons, right? If I had 3 razors that all shaved if I had all my razors shaved all the same way, where's the fun in that? Why? That's why I ended up keeping very few vintage razors in my collection. It's a nice heavy razor. It does a lot of the work for you. you won't find yourself pressing down too hard. Well, unless you're doing that. But now that I have this, I'm not really pining after any other razors at this time. So I think it's finally time to do a collection video, the razors in there. And I guess it would be at this point the top 8. The Shapeful 8? I don't know. I'll come up with some dumb name and the algorithm will be like, that's too smart for the room and you won't get any views. So far, smooth as ever. Maybe smoother than usual with the Overlander, which might be from using the Nasset. So we may have found a winning combination here. So I usually like the silver blue because I feel like it kind of just leans into whatever your razor does. So if your razor is really smooth, the Gillette silver blue. Then the shave is really smooth and mild, but if the razor is rather aggressive, the silver blue will kind of lean that way too. So I really like those blades. Another blade made in Russia. I don't know if they're both made, I think they're both made in St. Petersburg, I don't remember. And who knows what's happening now with all that. We're not here to talk about Russia, so. I didn't buy them directly from Russia, though, don't worry. Jonathan has talked about that plenty of times in his videos about how we're supporting the vendor. But recently, I've been supporting the razor company a lot. That's where I got my G5C. Not. And I ordered some samples last month and they sent me some extra. I'm going to keep the ones I wanted. I think I'm going to send the other ones on to the boys to review. And I'm going to try to bring back those sample Sunday and sample Saturday videos. More likely to be sample Sunday. My Lions game's coming up soon. Football started last night. I didn't watch the game live because my wife and I were too busy finishing season 2 of The Bear, which is a great show and deserves all the hype. So if you have the ability to watch it and you haven't yet, you should. So good. Gonna be some Emmys coming its way for sure. No spoilers, but now we're on to the next thing. I think we're gonna watch the second installment of Good Omens, on Prime. Which, if Neil Gaiman wasn't as involved and I wasn't such a fanboy of Neil Gaiman, I'd probably watch it without any trepidation. But being that there is only one book that they wrote together, to my knowledge, but him and Terry Pratchett, kind of a big fantasy novel reader. Been working my way through Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderlings the last couple of years, last 3 years really. Been doing like one trilogy a year for her, and I'm about to finish Lee Bardugo's 9th House. My wife suggested that I'm really enjoying. She's the author of the Shadow and Bone series. I've not read those. My wife isn't a big fan of those, but she really likes the Six of Crows and those books, and I did read those and like those. And when the show is on, when those parts are on, I'm interested, and otherwise my face is in my phone. I don't really have any attachment to the other stuff. But 9th House is good. It's unique thus far. Actually, going in October, V.E. Schwab has written lots of books under a couple different names, but the big ones are Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, quadrilogy now. Her new book in that universe is coming out, and she's actually coming to our town as part of the book tour, so we got tickets to go see her in October. Well, that's fun. I don't think I'll ever get to see Neil Gaiman in my hometown, because he's pretty big, but You never know. When he's old, we might get him. But I like to listen to audiobooks. I like to read books. I don't like to read books as much as I did when I was younger. I used to stay up with the ADHD brain. I couldn't sleep, so I would read a book in a night, a book in a day. In the summertime, I'd start them whatever time I woke up and read until it was done. Spent a lot of time doing that as a young, only child. But video games got better. Phones became computers. And I'm old, so a lot of times when I'm trying to read, plus I have kids, it's too late and I fall asleep. But when I'm doing something like washing dishes or mowing the lawn or something that I don't want to say it's mindless, but something I can do on autopilot. Football season, I'll watch games, whatever. College, pro, I don't care. I'll watch them. But my little ADHD brain likes to hyperfocus, so I can get through audiobooks pretty quickly. So it slows down a bit in the winter. Such a smooth razor. Let's see how we're doing. One of the areas I seem to have trouble with the Overlander is an area I seem to have trouble with most not as efficient or aggressive razors, and that's in this chin area. I think we're gonna try something there real quick, but otherwise I'm living with the shave. I don't regret getting the Overlander at all. I think it's a beautiful razor. It comes in lots of different variants, obviously aluminum, brass, bronze, copper, and stainless. The bronze, copper, and stainless are all like over $200 Canadian, and the aluminum and the brass are the cheaper of the bunch. But really like it. I think it's handsome. If it ends up not making the cut, it's not going to get sold. I'm going to re-gift it to my father, because when we borrowed Saks Overlander, he really liked that. But his birthday, Christmas, we'll see. Probably not going to go that way, but I do like my efficiency. Maybe if we can crack the code here. Part of the problem is it's obviously the thickest in the goatee area for me, and it grows in insane ways. I had like multiple cowlicks in my beard, and when I used to have a beard, wear an actual beard, and I'd get it trimmed, my barber then hated it because it was so crazy, especially in this area. So I think when it comes off the chin, it just goes insane in this area because the cowlick was all underneath. And I already have the wavy, curly-ish hair, and I had the thick barbed wire stubble when that grows out. So I have some friends that want me to grow the beard back. My kid sometimes wishes that I grow the beard back. I might grow a beard this fall, winter, just to, spice things up a bit. You can still wet shave, kind of, when you have a beard. I know a lot of you guys that head shave rock beards. Some of y'all just shave everything. And that's fine too. So I relathered the whole face, so we're just gonna go through 3 pass here. On the jawline especially, you could hear it picking something up there. Not so much up on the cheeks. Although my facial hair doesn't grow very thick at all up in this area. I don't typically go very low on my neck because it tends to just lead to irritation. Let's try this other side, and then I'm gonna rinse off, see where we are, and we'll get to the post-shave routine. I'm gonna go up a little higher here to start. It's alright. It's just so thick in that spot. Well, let's get more. Should I go that way? I'm gonna try one more thing. We're getting into sack territory here. He's like 4 passes with pickups, but he's a very hairy man, mostly. One thing I've noticed on the Overlander, these corners are rather sharp. They do stick out, if you can see. I'll show you the side I didn't shave with yet, for you squeamish people. They kind of stick out a little bit further even. Like they're almost just ever so slightly wider, so you will clip your ear. And I mean, the blade tabs are covered, but that just seems like something that Jonathan would whine about incessantly. I just wanted to take a shot at Jonathan, so. Hi, buddy. So we're just gonna try a couple different angles on the chin. I know, semi-pro tip here for you. When you're doing these little pickup passes, I mean, lathering the whole face like I did when I went on autopilot, I'm gonna do that. But you wanna go a little bit past the area you're shaving just in case you end up accidentally going a little bit the place you intend to shave, so you don't catch yourself. I had plenty of lather. I love Omnibus. Sometimes it gets a little crumbly. It's mostly when it seems to get a little bit older. I've had this soap since Christmas. Alright, let's try one last thing here and we're gonna call it. Playing with fire. I can still see him, but you know what? We're gonna have to live with it. I don't know. I gotta revisit my... God, I look like I'm disappointed, right? I wish I hadn't gotten the thorn. I mean, I'm glad I got the thorn, but I almost wish I hadn't gotten the thorn before I got this Overlander, but it is fine. We're gonna live. I'm gonna rinse off, I'll be right back. No, I'm just gonna have some in my ear I'll find later. It'll dry funny or something. It's what I normally like. Whenever I shave off camera, I always just rinse off again. As you can see, plenty wet over here, but that's okay. So yeah, we're still figuring the Overlander out. I'm gonna, like I said, revisit those videos and figure out what I was doing. But yeah, it's still a little picky in that area, but I don't care. I'm good. We're gonna live. Alright, I always start off with some good old Thayer's Witch Hazel. It doesn't have to be Thayer's, just Thayer's is widely available. So whatever witch hazel you're using. And it's gonna seem rather redundant in a minute. I don't know. Because then we'll use the Barbie dough once this settles in a bit. And this does, I believe... Does this have witch hazel in it? First thing, it's the main ingredient is alcohol. I can see it right there. There's avocado oil. I didn't know that. Nice. Sunflower oil. I don't... Argan. Sweet orange. I don't think I get the sweet orange in there as a scent. Jojoba. I don't think there is witch hazel in here. unless it's steamed up just in the right spot. It's awkward because of you gotta look at the back of the bottle where the liquid is to see it. But like I said, this stuff smells awful. No, they're not boasting about having witch hazel, fortified with aloe, jojoba, and vitamin E. And for you who don't know, it is called jojoba oil. So I'm gonna put some of this on. Usually makes me cough a little bit. It might seem redundant to put an aftershave on after this, and in some ways it is. But this is a razor bump therapy, and I really don't get irritation anymore. All right, so let's get to the aftershave with Seville. There's a lot of ingredients in that. Number one ingredient is denatured alcohol. There is witch hazel in this as well. Okay, all good things. But usually from here I just put a fragrance of my choosing. But today we'll do this for you guys special. Yeah, the lemon comes out right away. Overall, I mean, the Overlander's a joy to shave with. And I've had way worse shaves with other razors, mostly vintage, where you just get such an uneven thing. If you know where the problem areas are, I mean, if you have to go in there for your own sanity and use electric later, I just have a weird chin, very dimply chin. It's just right there to come right out. Maybe I need to shave like that. Wouldn't you guys enjoy that? Do I shave it like this? Yeah, me either. But that's fine. It's good. Yep, nice and soothing. There's no super wicked burn up front with the alcohol in it like you get with some aftershaves. So don't regret getting a new matching one for that at all. It's up there. Okay, so as always, we're gonna call that a shave. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.